friends and stuff like that. So
Welcome,
that's
ladies
even
and
better.
gentlemen. I'm your host, JUSDYS.
I'm your boy Said, aka Mr. Let's Talk.
And you're our special guest.
We have a special guest in the building.
What's
today.
your name,
Go ahead and
special
introduce
guest?
yourself.
Special guest. Yeah, absolutely. Folks, if you skate, you can call me Corey. That's my first name. Last name's Kelly. Everyone else, if you're not a skater, you call me CK. That's
CK?
what most folks end up calling me is CK.
Okay.
You can find me just about anywhere as at Marine Corey because I'm basically the first Marine
I like that.
named Corey
Right.
to join the Marine Corps during the time of the proliferation of social media. So I just got
Oh,
to be
wow.
the first one. So I'm at
Yeah.
Marine Corey on TikTok or wherever.
Oh, you on TikTok?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
This is TikTok right here. So
Yeah.
y'all be sure to check
Marine
him
Corey.
out.
Yeah.
Marine Corey. That's his name on TikTok, on this app
That's
that you're watching
interesting.
right now. That's pretty good. I like that right there.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
The way it worked out?
Y'all, we appreciate that, y'all. We about to get off into
Ladies
the
and
podcast
gentlemen,
on here. Appreciate y'all tuning
tonight-
in. I'll be back.
we are talking about,
Peace.
let me cut that off. Sorry. Tonight we're talking about near miss. The near miss theory.
Yes. Near miss theory.
Do any of y'all, hold on, we got to start sending invites.
Oh,
Any
yeah,
of
yeah.
y'all-
So we're going to wait.
Do any of
before
y'all
we get into
know
it.
what the near miss theory is?
That's right.
And
And I'm
This is
sure
gonna
it's
be
like
fun.
two people. It should be people in the room already.
Already? Okay,
should
well, that's
be.
good. Well, yeah, we always give them a few minutes to get in the room and stuff like that. We started a little bit early tonight. Which is
this
a good
might
thing.
not actually be a thing, by the way.
No, that's okay. That's why we said theory. Theories ain't proven.
No, it's
Some of them are.
But,
Come on.
but
I've
proven
studied
theories
it.
become
Other
law.
people have said it to me.
You know what I'm saying? Proven
I'm
theories
a-
become a law.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's why they call it a theory.
We'll go with that.
Newton's theory of relativity.
Gotcha.
It's a theory,
Yeah.
not a law.
No?
Which
The
is
law
why
of
people
gravity.
can always challenge it. The
Mm.
law of gravity, right? People can always challenge it and come up with their own idea of it.
Yeah.
It's not proven.
Yeah.
We like that.
Yeah, I think we're going to prove relativity, though.
Think so?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be easy to prove relativity.
Hmm.
Once we open ourselves up to the idea and the understanding that that the universe outlays in this space, I think we'll get there. I'm not.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm the guy getting us there. I just.
That's right,
I
right.
just feel like we're going to figure that one out.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, but based off all the research and study that's going on right now, whoever does it has a great platform to start from. You know,
Yep.
with all the research that's
They
already
got a,
been
they
done.
got a great placement to start from.
Yeah, it's great. You know what I'm saying? With all the information that's already out there and been done. Now they have a long way to go, but they already have a great starting point.
They do.
So
Correct.
yeah. And when it comes to science, y'all, I like to see a lot of things to be proven. I'm one of those guys. I like science. I like the theories. I like, you know what I'm saying, all this other stuff, especially when they prove it. So now it becomes a law. You know what I'm saying? It becomes fact. So absolutely, let's do it. There's a lot of stuff I want them to prove. A lot of stuff.
Well, I spent most of my career in the public relations space where most of what one exacts is more art than science.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's a universe in which there is no proof.
Absolutely.
It is the universe of social experience and experimentation.
Yes.
It is the universe of today and tomorrow and what we bring into it with our technology and our norms and what we do. Yeah.
That was good.
So this is the theory we're talking about tonight is definitely on the
Thank you.
there's proof in the concept
Mhm.
that there's examples of what you're trying to get at, but can it be proven that it's occurring, I don't know yet.
Bring you no silverware.
It's right here.
That it's what I think the near miss factor is increasing.
That's more water.
Like just like the universe is expanding,
Got another.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
The near miss factor is increasing,
I
and
agree
it's
with that.
increasing exponentially across domains.
Yes, yes, it
Yeah.
is. Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. They use it in religion a lot.
I
You
do.
know, the near miss. They use it in a lot of different fields.
Yes. A lot of fear tactic type things. A lot of fear tactics.
Y'all, we're gonna be talking to y'all tonight while we're eating. But don't worry, it's not gonna hurt the conversation at all. We're gonna have a fantastic conversation tonight. The near miss theory. We want to know what you guys what you think about the near miss theory once we explain it in its entirety. Yes, yes. Once we give you guys our opinion, our definition, you know what I'm saying, our experiences of the near miss theory. It's gonna be really fun, y'all. Really, really fun.
You know what the easiest one would be?
What's that?
The COVID-19.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, let's start with that.
Okay.
Tell me what you think about that.
So,
Well, are we getting in?
yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Are you decking this up or am I decking this up?
Go ahead. You get it.
So the idea here, it's been around for a long time, and public relations experts study it in relation to how a population is galvanized toward an idea. It could be any idea, but we have a lot of things that we're galvanizing around today, that we've galvanized around historically, and at first, we thought a near miss would do one thing, and we realized it did something entirely different. And so I could be wrong with where this first pops up, but where it first popped up in my experience was really an understanding the influence of the individual who was not that which is impacted, but those people who are close and next to those who are impacted. And this this can happen in any experience. You can think of it as cancer patient is the hit, and then cancer patient family is the near miss.
Right.
And people are closer to that, right?
Yep.
You can broaden that, and you could think about it incidentally.
9/11, COVID,
Yep. And
birth
or
control.
with the first case study of the impact of the near miss that I was exposed to was in relation to Hitler's use of bombs that were programmed to have a higher defect rate than one would think to desire. Okay.
Right.
When you make a bomb, you think you would want it to go off, but
You expect it to blow up.
you would expect it to blow up. But Hitler thought that he could extend the fear and keep more people in line if more bombs didn't go off.
Mhm.
Because those bombs that don't go off are living kind of entombment of what he's.
When is it gonna go off?
Yeah, when is it going to go off? Right,
When is
it's
it
that
gonna go
fear.
off? Yeah.
What he didn't realize is like instilling that much fear galvanized the population and the world against him in such a way that there was no way he could ever win. You're just not going to do it.
Right.
So the near miss effect is a galvanizing effect that can be extremely strong in opposition to an idea or in anything.
So do you feel like it can be used effectively in the way that Hitler wanted to use it. You know,
That's like
So-
there's no way I will ever comment on that statement.
okay. So and I'm glad I like how you did that. So when you take someone to kind of go along the same lines of thinking of what he just said, take a dictator like Pol Pot. I don't know if a lot of y'all familiar with Pol Pot, right? There was a dictator in Vietnam, I believe it was, and he was one of the first few dictator leaders to come up with the guerrilla tactics, right?
Okay.
So shoot and then run and hide in the jungle. Shoot, hide in the jungle. He created so much fear. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing as what he's saying, the near miss theory. So it's not like he was taking out a lot of people. He may have shot some, but it was like whole regiments, whole platoons were now fearful of entering the jungle and because of what could happen and these hit and run tactics, aka guerrilla tactics and stuff like that. These are just different variations of the same thing.
That's so hilarious. And the reason it's so hilarious is because America got its freedoms from those that sought to keep it within its kingdoms by what they didn't call it guerrilla warfare, but the same disbanded hide and shoot and marksman tactics destroyed functional colonialized armies.
Absolutely.
They couldn't handle it. They
That's
couldn't
right.
figure it out. And then we became a colonialized army and we couldn't figure it out, dude. It's just like
That's irony.
It's
That
so
is irony. Yes, that's true. I mean, and if y'all not familiar with what he's talking about, let's take somebody like Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
When he was a small band, you know what I'm saying, of archers and ragtag makeshift army, and they would attack and run. You know, attack and run. So that type of thing, you know, and it's funny because, like he said, America became. That's how we started. Then we became the army that couldn't understand what this was. How? Yeah. I told y'all tonight was gonna be a great conversation, y'all. I told you tonight was gonna be a great
We're
conversation.
gonna get to your comments. I got y'all.
He got the comments. He's gonna read the comments. We promise y'all. But right now, we're just laying the foundation for what it is that we're talking about tonight. You know, the near miss theory. He was giving the example earlier of cancer. How your loved one get cancer, and the near miss is their family, their immediate family, their extended family, their close friends, and now all of a sudden, everybody is worried. Everybody's affected some sort of way because their loved one got cancer. And it doesn't matter the type of cancer, it doesn't matter. But now, the near miss theory, everybody is affected by this. Everybody now want to go get checked out. Everybody now may feel like, oh man, I might have it too because I was right there with them. You know, we would party it up when we were kids. We were smoking and drinking together as kids, and now he got it, so I might have it too. Very effective, very powerful tool.
That's why I feel like COVID is a better example.
COVID's a really good example of where everyone is the hit.
Mass hysteria.
Everyone became a hit in COVID.
Yep.
There is no near miss in COVID. Everyone became a hit.
Right.
We were all impacted in very real, functional ways.
Right.
And that's perhaps one of the only global incidents we can point to where everyone became a hit. And
That's true.
and in that you see tons of manifestations of what it should look like to be a intelligent, coherent, thinking human being who's responsive to the global pandemic. Should we be wearing masks right now?
Right.
Right?
Ooh.
Like, hey, buddy.
Ooh. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, it's
Yep.
just like, what does it mean? Where am I supposed to be?
Should we still walk 6 feet apart from each other?
Look, I'm happy to respect that if that's what you want and if that's what we all think is most appropriate. But who? Oh,
Right.
man.
Right, because it's so much. we question our government with everything that they say because of the past. And like you said, we don't know. We don't know if this is just another fear tactic, another control tactic, you know, another thing to get money out of us, because we all know that when pandemics happen, when wars happen, a lot of money is made. So is that what this is? And
A lot of money is spent.
Huh?
A lot of money is spent.
A lot of money is spent, but on the government, we have
On
a
the
lot of money
government,
is made.
every month, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of money is made during pandemics and war. You know what I'm saying? A lot of money, billions, if not trillions of dollars is made.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got to think about Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, you know what I'm saying? This one and that one making a cure, alleged cure, let me air quotes, you know. But yeah, it's fear mongering tactics.
All right. So we're going to start with the comments.
But let's-
Okay.
All right. So Dub said, fellas, what's up? You got the notification.
What's up, Delta?
He said the near miss is a potential hazard. Emmett David E. He said, man, I was hungry as shit right now. Carl like, what's happening, Delta? Respect the bucket hat.
Appreciate that.
California wildfire. That's another hit and miss, I guess.
Yeah, that they're not showing on TikTok no more new.
Live on a Tuesday, PSD, Yeet. Okay.
What up?
MJ Hustle, what's good? I'll be back later. Big Chief.
Chief in the building.
Yep. That's who you met yesterday.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay.
And while we're doing that, let me take a quick second to say big shout out to Souchet Pierre. He invited myself as well as this to work his album release / birthday party in Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
Right? So it was a great honor. It was a great evening, and we had a fantabulous time. I was on hosting duties, and this kept us safe.
All the time.
You know what I'm saying? As the Marine that he always is, he kept us safe, and everybody loved him for it, right? But we just want to send a big shout out to Haitian artist Souchet Pierre.
Yes.
Go and pick up his album if you haven't heard it, streamed it yet, or seen it on my page or his page. Phenomenal music, reggaeton, Afro beats, dance hall.
Name of the album is Bipolar Therapy.
Bipolar Therapy. So we just want to take a quick break to give him some love.
I also want to take a quick break and a shout out to Morg. It was her birthday yesterday.
Big shout out to Morg, one of our moderators on the show.
Mm-hmm. We love you. We appreciate you. Now for the main event.
Okay, so kicking it off, he has a story he wants to tell, right?
Oh yeah.
So we have to get into this story and break it down, you know what I'm saying, to the 5 points of it and stuff like that, to give y'all a better understanding of what it is that we talk about. So without further ado, we're gonna allow him to talk about it.
Now this is funny. Before he gets started, people outside of Alabama are gonna think these kind of things happen all the time. But I'm here to tell y'all, these things really don't happen down here like that. Go ahead, sir.
Well, I did roll into town on, I believe it is election day.
Mhm.
Or like the
Inauguration day.
inaugural transfer of power. And you know, when
Thank you, Oracle.
when organizations transfer power, other organizations typically take notice. And I think what was happening is there's an organization in town, I think that's socialist, the Democratic Socialists of Birmingham,
Never heard of them.
or something like this. They were outside City Hall in the park. I had just pulled into town and I was figuring out where I was going to stay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to a friend on the phone, lady friend, you know, shout out.
That's right. That's right.
And I look over and I hadn't taken as many pictures as I was planning to on this trip. I was a photojournalist in the Marine Corps, so I like to take pictures. You know, I do so now just for hobby and a good time. And I keep her on the phone. I see people with signs looking like they're picketing. I don't see demonstrations every day. Let me just go take a couple of pictures.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
And I could show you the pictures of them obstructing my capacity to take pictures of their demonstration. It was like the most bizarre experience. They charged me. They hit me with their sign. Somebody hit my camera. I got a picture of some guy's hand on my lens as he's swapping my camera
Wow.
away. They attack me and try to force me to tell them who I am. And I'm like, I'm a private citizen journalist, and this is a public park, dude. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
Right? And as I'm doing this, there's a guy who's actually twice as close as you are to me, because he's
Damn.
he's trying to be in my space, and I'm telling him, get out of there. Well, while he's doing this, one of his other little squirrely friends comes
Everything okay?
right in
Yes.
my ear.
Yes.
Yeah. Right in my ear. Just so I can hear him. Not so the rest of the people can hear him, but just so I can hear him. Cracker. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like,
Wow.
you racist thug? Like, what? And
What?
you're gonna call me a cracker in my ear, but not in front of your friends? Like, what is this?
Wow.
And then
Wow.
and then I just like, I'm like, you see, like my jacket says I'm a veteran of foreign wars, right? So I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like, I fought for your right to be this,
Yes. Right.
to do this.
Right.
And that's what I told them. And you know what they said to me? Thank you for your service, you asshole. Like they yelled thank you for your service, and they yelled, you're an asshole.
in the same breath.
You're just ridiculous.
In a miss.
I would have.
But
Wow.
And the only reason I say that is because every time we go to war, everybody sits down. But the people that's in the military stand up. What we're paid to do. What we're trained to do.
Mm.
Yeah.
We go off. Some of us lose our lives. Our families are impacted. We're the ones closest to the ones that they lose. And the rest of America like, fuck that shit. We don't care because it's not us. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go over there and fight. That shit.
Yeah.
Continue. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You didn't cut me off, man.
That's
So that was my welcome to Birmingham.
Hmm.
Was being assaulted physically and verbally by the Socialist Democratic Organization, who were
Wow.
trying to picket in a public place and not have anyone notice. It's the most bizarre concept to me. It broke my brain. If anyone is out here who knows this Socialist Democratic Organization and their leadership and understands what the hell they're trying to accomplish, please,
Right in.
some
Yeah,
sense to it.
leave some comments so we know who they
Please,
are.
please drop a comment, because I want to know too. How do you try to pick it but don't want to be noticed?
Yeah, I got mad pictures of these dudes in my face, man.
Happy late birthday, Morg.
Really,
Happy birthday to Morg.
really an interesting exercise it was. I won't get into it.
Man, no,
Like
that's
I said, that doesn't happen all the time down here.
it doesn't. But
But they would think it does.
right, because of where we are. Right.
But this, I don't know that this is a near miss. This is where I think by COVID, they all wanted to be a hit.
Yeah.
They all
Mm.
felt like they needed to be a party to a conflict.
Right.
And I
right.
was
You was.
I
you
were
it.
their solution.
That's right.
Yeah, I was their
That's right.
solution to having a conflict at
No.
their thing.
Were you the only photo?
I was the
photojournalist?
only person who walked by.
Oh wow. So they took their opportunity.
Yeah, they were like, oh, man with big camera.
Right.
Let me
Right.
really take advantage of this.
Right. Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is when you think about
So-
the totality of that.
So I don't know if that falls into the near miss effect. I think that's something else that we're learning about human behavior.
Mhm.
That we have this maybe like new need to actually experience ourselves the unrighteousness that is being experienced specifically and maybe more broadly in some places. It's like they have to be a party to it.
Right.
they're creating their own problems. I don't know.
But I mean, but they take an opportunity like that when they see guy with big camera. This is our shot. This is our shot. You know, to be famous, because negative press is still press. That's how they look at it. So they're like, we can go over here, we can attack him, we can antagonize him, we can do this, and he's gonna put the pictures out. That, you know, that's the angle that they're looking at it
Then that
from.
gets them publicity to their
To
cause.
their cause, right? Right, because before that they're a rebel without a cause, or
Right.
no way to get that
But
cause
but
out.
if I sue them for assaulting me,
Right.
now they are an organization that's in the news and in the courts.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
know.
what they ultimately want,
Yeah.
even
so-
if they lose.
right.
You know.
Which is why I don't know that I'll actually ever release the photos. I think
Oh,
I'm just
wow.
gonna fucking sit on them, you assholes.
And not give them what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though, because they know the public would love to see those photos, clamoring to see those photos. Absolutely. There you go.
I haven't seen a Marine commercial in a long time, but just because he's sitting here, there's a Marine commercial coming on.
It was meant to be.
It gotta be.
It was meant to
It
be.
gotta be.
But people want to see those photos, right? They want to see because of what happened. And,
The way he described it, yeah.
and the people who did that know that.
Yeah.
They knew, okay, this guy's a journalist.
Well,
He's going to get on somewhere, some social media platform, and talk about this. He's going to help us spread our cause.
Well,
But
he
like he
talked
said,
about
when he sits on it, talks about them, but sit on the photos,
yeah.
they're not getting what they want.
It's not promoting any individual.
I don't know.
But
Well,
if you do,
this is
wrong
actually an
with that?
experiment, by the way. I came on your show as an experiment
cool. But you good.
because I don't actually have any intention of doing any more communicating about this experience beyond this event.
Okay.
That was a random question shot at you. The question is, are you a Pisces or Aquarius?
Wow.
I'm neither. I'm a Taurus Gemini cusper.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So
You sound like our other podcast buddy.
yeah. Well,
Well, you don't sound like him, but I'm just saying like that's what he is. He's a Taurus Gemini Mars. I think he's a Gemini Mars.
Something like
yeah,
that.
I just know that being born May 19 specifically puts
Makes
me
you-
on the cusp of being more Taurus than Gemini.
Right.
Mhm.
But I got
Mhm.
some Gemini going on in me, and I can't deny that. So that's how that lays out. I
So
would like.
having Gemini in you. What do you feel like? You feel like you're two people sometimes?
Well,
Like one of you is going left, the other one's going right. You feel like that? How does feeling like a Gemini feel? That's my question.
that's.
Because he's a Virgo. I'm a
Uh-huh.
Capricorn,
Yeah.
but I have a whole lot of Virgo placements.
So. Yeah.
So
So.
I act like him. That's why we get along so well. I mean,
You
like
know very well.
that's how Ace. Shout out to Ace.
Big shout out to the homie Ace.
Ace put it like men, we lust through our Mars. Women love through their Mars. They lust through their Venus. Your moon sign is who you really are behind closed doors. And I say that to say that because I have a Scorpio moon.
Yeah.
So he's like, in my case, like I have a mental illness as well. They know. I've
Sure.
been talking to,
Yeah.
talked about a lot. So he says that,
Everything okay?
Yes.
here, take this to Jessica.
You finished?
Yeah, I can't get all that out of my teeth. I appreciate it though. So he says that since I have a Scorpio moon, that when I get depressed, my Scorpio moon feeds me being negative, feeds me being in that dark place.
Sure.
And I thought about it and I said, maybe. And then he did Lilith. You ever heard of a Lilith?
No.
Okay, in your natal chart, towards the bottom, after Pluto and Neptune, and before your rising, it's a Lilith.
Okay.
Basically, even though you're a Taurus Gemini, and you have to look at a natal chart. Let me pull
Right.
up one. Pull up one right fast. I have some right on deck. Yeah, I have some on deck. Here's one. So, Your sun sign is Taurus, Gemini,
Right.
plus, right? So then your moon will be something else, and then your Mercury is how you communicate, whatever that would be. Your Venus is how women love, and your Mars is how men love. Well, how we lust. We lust before we love. And when you are like the Jupiter is who you're supposed to marry, that's whatever. But towards the bottom, right here, Lilith, it tells like it's like your ultimate dark side.
Oh yeah.
So
Or like the femme fatale, the
There you go. Yep.
yeah,
Your Lilith is like the
Your-
one you shouldn't be with.
right.
But for some reason,
That's what you're going to.
you
That's
can't figure out why.
right. You're like, I just love her. Oh, I can't be without.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because she be feeding the sin.
Right.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's also found in men. It's,
Well,
a place,
sure.
it's a placement in men, but like no matter like depending on who you are, what sign it falls under, and all this is based off of your birth date, place, time, and location. It's like it's like a map to where you were born. That's what your natal chart really is.
Right.
Your natal chart, for people out there that don't know, your natal chart is just a map to where you were born.
And it gives a sense of what your projection,
Life path,
your
your life
path
path. Might deviate.
Right.
might be.
But it gives people a better understanding of why they do
Yeah, I
some of
was-
the things that they do.
I was thinking about this earlier, right? I was
Okay.
talking about how
Yeah.
about how some moments that change the universe doesn't recognize it the moment that it occurs. It
Mhm.
can't even see it. The universe
Right.
doesn't even know that it changed,
Right.
right? You know, when just think
Not yet, Ward.
any revelation in history, when it actually happened, the
No
changing
problem, Miss
of the
Oracle.
universe is a reverberative effect based on the
Yes.
actual incident, and the incident itself was tiny. It
Mhm.
was three people at a table. It was two people in a garage. It was one guy in a room focused on a study. It was a man on a bridge with an instrument. It was
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? It was
Yes.
it was
Yeah.
very specific.
Yep.
And it wasn't until the world caught wind, right? Until the world saw the star
Mm-hmm.
that it realized, holy fuck, the universe has changed.
Yep.
Right? The
Absolutely.
Beatles exist. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
they were chopping away at some random ass bar for 5 years, dude. You know how many random people saw them and didn't give a flying fuck about who they were?
Until
Until all of a sudden the
Right.
universe like woke up to it, and then
But that's most.
yeah,
that's most musicians.
That's
story.
that's
mo-
most things,
that's
and that's
yeah,
proving what he's saying, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's most things.
you throw the rock in the river,
You see the ripple,
but it takes a second for the ripples to happen.
right?
You see what I'm saying? It is,
Right.
The world don't catch effect until they see the ripples, or until
True.
the ripples get close enough to the shore for them to notice.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because you throw the rock out there far enough, you won't even see the
Well,
ripples.
you see you're right.
So yeah, I agree. That's
Damn.
And
Yeah.
today we're chewing on shit like the Matrix, which is an extrapolation of the allegory of cave, which is
Absolutely.
which is
There we
the
go.
foundation teaching of fucking Plato's Academy, handed down by Socrates and Aristotle, and it's a simple concept. I was like, the idea in the allegory of the cave is that these guys are in a cave with their heads and necks chained in such a position that they can only see shadows. Right, that's it. Like, just imagine there's a group of people in a cave, chained and fixed and enslaved in such a position that all they can see are shadows. And if you were observing these people, and there were other things happening in the cave, so that it cast shadows, people moving and things talking, those people who were chained would think that it was the shadows that were talking, wouldn't it be right?
Yeah, because that's all you see.
That's all you see. And then what if I let one of these people out of the cave? And what would happen? right?
They'd run back in the cave.
Well, a bunch of things would happen, and first the thing is shock, right?
Right.
You don't really think about it, but like if you live your life in complete darkness, the first thing that's going to happen is your pupils are going to blow out black,
Well, that's first. Yeah, that's
and you're going to spend 3 or 4 days in like searing, painful hell, not really recognizing what is the difference between a shadow and a blinding, piercing light.
right.
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 And then when you normalize to the upper world, you're going to start to actually see shit. Anyway, we've been chewing on the same stories for a long time
Right.
and the same concepts. And the concept that continues in the allegory is like, well, if you let him out and you let him see the world, when he came back to the cave, he would try and free everybody, right? So you couldn't let him back. You'd have to
Right.
kill him, right?
Right.
But then, well, what if you needed people to go back into the cave to experience the cave, just to allow for us to continue that process, right? So you become a public servant, and in my service, I become a part of the Enchained. On the far end of the
Wow.
whole allegory,
Wow.
you have this, you have them structuring and manifesting different parts of a archetypal system of government and a logical ways that people would and should and most likely will
That's
interact
true.
based on what's happening. And
Right.
and I don't know why it never breaks down. That's what I don't know. I don't know why and why we can't get past some of the places that we're at with all of what we're doing.
That reminds me of the story of the tribe that received the food from the mission, and it came in on a plane. And when those missionaries left on the plane, the tribe built a plane out of sticks and bamboo and all that. And they call it the Sky Gods,
Okay.
you know, because they was unaware of what an airplane was, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But they started praying to this airplane model of an airplane, calling it the Sky Gods. And what you just said, in theory, in principle, you know, it reminds me of that, because they was, like you said, with the shadows, the shadows didn't know about the light. They didn't know, so now they seeing the light. And these people, quote unquote, are seeing the light. They like, okay, we prayed for food, we prayed for supplies, we prayed for whatever.
What's
and
up,
here it
Pops?
comes out of the sky.
Yeah.
So now this thing that they don't know it's a plane. We know it's a plane, but they looking at it like, oh, okay, this is our deity. We have to pray to this.
Yeah.
So every year, this deity will send us down more food, more supplies, more whatever that we may need. And it's amazing that it happens like that, you know, to where one half of the world is so civilized and know what's going on and know what this is, but then you still have these tribes that's quote unquote chained by the neck.
Yeah.
And we let one of them free to see what's going on outside.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But now they make a model of this. It becomes their deity.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Let me read some of these.
Okay.
Got a lot.
Ouch.
Absolutely.
But then there's also the fact that Aboriginal tribe, even though they bastardized whatever they've observed into whatever they've manifested to become, are still the most pure
Absolutely.
example
Yes.
we have of
Yes.
what human culture and society oughta should be.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The most pure of that.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Man, politics
I
got
told
these
you this
people
was gonna be a
acting
great
too
conversation.
disrespectful. They all stuck, and by attacking him, they showed not only their ignorance, but also how misinformed they are. If he sues them, it's just that. FAFO. Fuck
around and find out.
fuck around and find out.
Uh-huh.
Wow, have you ever had a non-earth sign on your pillow? No, not on this show. We've never had a non-earth sign on this show.
So I broke the seal? Is that the?
No, you're still you're
He's
still
an earth sign.
you're still earth sign.
Okay.
We haven't had a non-earth sign on here?
No, Doug was the earth sign.
What about your friend who came on here that day when we was over there?
I don't know what she is.
Okay.
I don't know if I asked her where she was.
I don't think we did.
So
we need to
maybe,
find out.
maybe.
Okay.
I'll text her tonight and find out.
Okay.
Thank you for having him on the show. Money, Banks, and Change.
I told y'all he was
Gemini.
gonna be a great guest. I told y'all.
Kevin Garnett's birthday is May 19th also.
My brother's birthday is May 18th.
Hmm.
So I knew he was the
Fine,
Taurus. As soon as he said that, I knew his mindset.
Okay.
My brother was in the Navy with me also. You know what I'm saying? He was on the that says Abraham Lincoln on 9/11.
Okay.
I was so worried about him. I didn't know who he was at. He texted us later on that night and let us know that he was safe. But yeah. But when you
Sometimes
said
you
May
have
19,
to-
I'm like, yep.
Sometimes you have to allow the dark side to thrive in order to keep the balance. That's true.
Oh,
I feed my demons all the time.
See, that leads into a whole nother conversation though.
That's your oracle. That's your auntie.
I told you Oracle be on it though. She be on it.
This makes me feel so good watching someone else explain to someone how astrology works when they have no idea. I do this all the time, and I'm like, I gotta slow down. They won't remember.
But it's amazing how your real life experience lines up with the way he's explaining astrology.
I don't doubt it. Yeah, for sure.
It is. I mean, you know, it's wow.
What's good, Delta? He looks like Teddy Swims in tune with himself. Also, everything you do is having an effect on the entire universe. Even the three of you at the table right now.
Absolutely.
God, good evening, everyone. That's Pops. I live.
What's up, Pops?
I like what he's saying. Talk that says King Redbeard.
King Redbeard.
He's talking.
King Redbeard.
Oh man. Okay.
As we watch this right here.
He's talking my conversation now.
Hey.
Get it, bro. Try and let them know. Folks can't get past because a lot of us are still snoozing.
Yeah,
He's on
told y'all.
point, sis. Preacher.
I told y'all tonight. was
Very
a big
intelligent
break.
conversation.
Yes.
Some are not ready to evolve a little bit.
Okay, so here's where the conversation evolves. Here's where
Okay.
I think I pull some of the ideas together.
Okay.
Because near
Let's
miss,
go.
because
What's up, social?
it's not like a near miss theory, but I always kind of refer to it as a factor. It's a factor in whatever scenario you're trying to evaluate or understand. The near miss is a factor on the population, the perceptions of the population that you're trying to understand.
Okay.
And to the tune that you can influence the number of people that are near missed by something, you can manipulate.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
can use it as a manipulative tool. So for those of you that are conspiracy theorists who think COVID is,
Me.
a big something.
or whatever, yeah.
well, COVID made everyone a hit, and everyone became a hit. So it absolutely increased the near miss factor, because now when everyone's a hit, that means like when you're a hit, you're also you have to prove that you've been hit when you hit.
Absolutely. Almost. Right. And it's funny,
It's almost different than being a near miss because there's everybody always questions your credibility and your live factor, your experience. Did you really experience what you say you're experiencing?
Right.
Because so many people are not experiencing what they're saying they're experiencing. We're watching Netflix special after Netflix special of jerk off who basically bamboozled the world into believing that they were a somebody,
right?
And they got to a somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So who's actually doing the things and behind the curtains and whatever's? I don't know. I could tell you in the rooms that I was in, but I'm not in any rooms anymore. So it doesn't matter. But so
Yeah, one more.
I'm sorry.
you're okay. So where this near miss factor in the theory comes in, because now we're maturing as a society, as a species, occurs
overall, yes.
right. It doesn't necessarily, maturing doesn't necessarily mean we're getting better. It means we're changing.
Okay.
Okay. And we're always changing in response to the the most prominent reverberative influences. What are the most prominent reverberative influences? Most commonly, it's the things that get the most near miss in a society are the things that people trumpet the most.
That's a good point.
Right?
So
That's a
that would
good
be
point.
TikTok right now.
Well, sure, yeah.
Well, that's a good one. That's a good example of it. Right.
Because everybody has
Yeah.
something to say or
See,
feels some kind of way.
this is one of the things that Trump has been so especially good at, in that he recognized, and you said it earlier, right? All news is good news. There is no such thing as bad news. Bad news is also good news.
Yes.
And that's because of, I think I think there's a fundamental truth in the universe that we haven't quite gotten grips with. And that is, the universe has no sense of good or bad. The universe doesn't
Absolutely.
care
Mm-hmm.
about good or bad. The universe is expanding, and it expands that which has resonance.
Mm.
And we give
Ooh.
resonance to the things that we choose to as a peoples, as a humanity now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And in ways that we don't understand, because as a mass, we kind of move like a globular blob that fucking, flew off the B movie.
Like a Tubi movie.
Yeah, just like crappy.
Well, I reacted like that because me and him had a conversation one time where we were talking about who determines what's good and what's bad.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But
Like, who says, okay, well, this is good and this is bad? Because now we're starting to see so many people challenge that and question that.
Yeah, my gut tells me two answers. One is my soul's answer. Your soul's sense tells you what's good and bad.
Go ahead.
Right? The other
Absolutely.
answer is there is no answer. The universe has no sense of good or bad.
Exactly. And that's what so inherently, we're born knowing certain things, right? Inherently, like we know,
Up is up,
don't
down
kill
is
your
down.
mom and dad. Inherently, we just know, we're born knowing that. No one has to tell us that.
Some of them are.
I mean, some of us. I mean,
Right.
of course, it's an anomaly, of course. But inherently, we're born knowing that.
Knowing to help our parents.
Right.
Right.
And to not necessarily be good people, because we don't know what
Good is,
people is.
right.
You see what I'm saying? We don't know
It's all
what's good or bad.
subjective because
It's all subjective to a society
The
that's
way
built
that
around
we
us.
learn.
Right,
and
the
who
way
we
that we
around,
learn.
right.
And this person said that this is good.
Yeah.
Like, okay, once all of us are men of a certain age. We
All
all
of us are
thought
military.
We all military. We all thought it was a good idea to work a 9 to 5 for 30 years and retire and get a check. Now, certain generations start to understand that that's not necessarily a good thing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I say it's subjective of what's good.
Yeah, some of the things we're taught, like I think it's like the
It's
family that lives
societal.
on a farm.
It's societal.
I think it's like a family that lives on a farm. They drink from the well 20 years. They got 4 or 5 generations that it came up. The well's contaminated. None of them are sick.
Right.
Me and you go to the farm one time, we drink out that well one time, we fucked up.
Right.
It's like that. I mean,
Because we've been drinking from our well,
right.
wherever
Where the
our
water
well is at.
tastes however it tastes.
Right.
And what's in
And
it
they've
that
been
we,
drinking from their well.
because you can't tell me that Flint people, for instance,
Mhm.
just all of a sudden found out that their water was contaminated, and all those people been
They've been
living
saying
there
that for years.
They've been living there.
Yes.
They've been drinking that. It just
Yes.
got worse.
Yes.
But
Well,
I'm saying that to say,
Mhm.
like, it's a lot of people that stayed in Flint that did not die because of the water.
Absolutely.
They just their bodies adapted to it.
And also, they just now started getting recognition on that. Their voice just now started to get heard, like he was just saying.
And me and him were
before,
talking. Me and him were
once
talking.
the world catches on.
Yeah, me and him were talking earlier. I was telling him like that's the whole social media. That's the whole internet.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
everything is magnetized by 100%. Because back in the day when we were younger, me and you got to fighting, and it's either I win, you win, or you go get your brothers, I go get whoever, you jump me, they jump me, whatever.
Right.
But when I put the world into it, and I beat you up or you beat me up, and you go get your brothers, now it's a big thing. Now it's we don't want to fuck with that family.
Right.
But
Right.
this person here got his ass whooped, so he's easy target.
Right. But now when you put it on social media, now you have the world going against you because you went and got your brothers and did all this to him.
You getting judged in
Yeah,
society.
You're getting judged.
We,
Right.
we raised the stakes when we virtualized our experiences and allowed them to be and enabled them to
Absolutely.
be broadcast so readily. And we
Yep.
didn't really realize
Yep.
what we were doing to our brains and to ourselves as we were doing this. guns.
Absolutely.
And this is absolutely like, so
think the closest
this
thing
is
we
why
had-
the near miss factor
The closest thing
is
we had
exponentially increasing and will
it
never
is never
draw
drop.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever.
And
We're
it'll always
gonna-
be something new
we're
that
gonna-
can bring us closer to watching real life.
Unless we get better at ourselves.
Meaning
Hey.
what?
Well, he said earlier that
I mean,
we're
we-
maturing,
Yeah.
and I agree with that.
Yeah,
But
but,
it's
but
not
your
at a
Andre
rate-
said growth is remembering what you forgot.
Well, I look at it like this. I think that
Could
the
be.
powers that be
Yeah.
knew that we were growing,
Mhm.
and they stunted that growth.
Yeah.
Because for a second, we was really moving ahead of a lot of issues, right?
We were.
Once again, we're all men of a certain age. We
Right.
knew the issues coming from the 90s to the 2000s,
Right.
2010,
We didn't see some.
We seen it,
some
right?
generations.
We was really like overall as a whole, as a culture, we was really maturing. We
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah.
It wasn't as much gun violence. As a matter of fact, remember Birmingham 2 years ago, for the past 3 years, going back 2 years, we had seen the less gun violence that we had ever seen.
In 2 years.
No, I'm talking
I said-
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
I said, well, yeah, because COVID hit.
Right. But even before COVID, okay, let's say 2 years before COVID,
2 years before
Birmingham
COVID.
experienced the less
It was going
gun
down.
violence that we had ever
It was
seen.
going down.
And this was across the
coming,
country.
Yeah, we were coming off the murder capital.
Exactly. And this was across the country though.
Yeah.
Every bad city that had gun violence was experiencing the lowest number that
Yeah.
they had ever seen. And then all of a sudden,
Social media came
boom,
back.
it spikes back up.
Uh-huh.
We was maturing. The powers that be, in my opinion, this is just my opinion.
They put it out there.
They seen that shit.
Yeah.
And they were like, hold on. It's not as many guns being sold.
All right.
It's not as much gangster rap music being sold.
Yeah. There was a lot of dance.
Because the art, it was all about dancing.
or something that some kind of clothing that you wear.
Everybody wanted to be a dancer. Everybody making dance hall records.
Snap
You know
to
what I'm
it,
saying?
or pop
Snap
to it, or
having a good time. And it
drop,
was
make it
fun.
low, yeah.
And they switched all that shit back around, and drill music
Came
became
out.
the #1 form of rap music.
Because some of them
Drill music.
because
Out
some of those
Chicago,
some of those
shoot,
people are
shoot,
really
shoot,
doing
shoot,
stuff.
shoot, shoot.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden,
Now
even
we
though
got East Coast drill music,
They've been
West
doing
Coast
that,
drill music.
and they've been doing drill music for 20 years in Chicago, and it
Yeah.
never was the #1 form of rap music ever.
That's true.
Honestly, I think a lot of what you're referring to is merely a consequence of like just organic circumstance.
Oh,
As
I like that term.
Organic circumstance.
Organic
Yeah, yeah.
circumstance.
More tag that, please.
Tag
Yeah.
that.
Andy,
Yeah,
if you're in the
it's-
building, please
We're
tag
gonna have a
that.
whole podcast on that.
yeah, it's a consequence of organic circumstance. It's like
Consequence of
because we
organic
only
circumstance.
mature in
We'll talk about that
relation
tomorrow.
to our deficits as readily as we are affronted with them,
Mhm.
and as we are willing to confront whatever that affrontage is.
Right.
We do, we don't often do it. Like
No, we don't.
no, we don't. And the organic consequence is like when the beef be big enough, things happen.
Right,
Like,
right,
and,
right.
And so there needs to be a compelling organic force for any transformation to occur. And that means an actual person. That means like a no bullshit. You need a Thomas Jefferson or a fucking a Malcolm X, or you need a
Or
somebody
Bunchy Carter.
who's a willing, and anybody
Right.
who's willing to embody and then feed the transformation.
Mm.
What we are
But that person gotta be
devoid.
a sacrifice too, right?
Well, yeah, that's the nature of the beast.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely. That's the nature of the beast.
but we're kind of devoid of the people who want to be that. They want to have been in the fight, but they don't want to be the fighter.
Nobody wants
right?
to be the martyr.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody wants to be the martyr.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I showed up to a brawl with a bunch of those people. They all ran in the other direction.
They left you standing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've both been in that situation. I know
Yeah.
I've been in that situation.
Yeah.
But when you show up, they're like, oh, yeah. Then they back up. You're like, wait a minute.
Y'all were here just a minute ago.
Right. Y'all was
You were talking that talk.
right.
All right.
Now they see you. Now they leave you holding the bag. And you're like,
Fuck it. Let's go.
wow. Right.
Fuck it. I'll make the most of it.
Man. Y'all, this is I told y'all this was going to be a great podcast tonight, a great conversation tonight. I hope you got your boots strapped on. This ain't like none of the funny stuff that we talk about, none of the gossip.
All right, we got 1 message
Real
from your
live
pops.
conversation. Let's
Pops
go.
said social media has destroyed the way the world is going. Everyone
It has.
wants to be out there with their business and have everyone approve what they are doing. It has screwed up things so bad.
Yeah.
It has,
It
but
really has.
wrong.
Yes,
You know,
yes. And if you notice,
it's one of the things they can't put back in the bag, though.
right, they can't. Well,
Yeah, but there's also the converse perspective. So anything that reverberates also reverberates on the other end.
oh yeah, everything's good.
Yeah. And so as screwed up as it is, it also is that much better. You're just that much more blind to how much better it actually is.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
So we want to ignore the preponderance of conveniences and realities that now exist in a world where we can talk to anyone any way we want to, and no matter what, like, I can still find a way to get to him,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like,
Mhm.
if the telephones fail, I'm gonna find another route. There's a different,
That's right.
there's
That's
a
right.
different tool. There's a different technology. There's so many different options and channels.
That's right.
Nobody's breaking them all down. We are certified. We're connected. Grand.
Right, right.
What do we do with it? That's what
See,
we stopped. We stopped at that. Like,
Oh my
once we don't know what to do with it. The only thing we know what to do with it is what we are emulating, and what we're emulating are a bunch of assholes. Like,
True.
it is. It's like a comedy of the fallacies, or there's a tongue for this. It speaks to it speaks to our inability to grow to the capabilities that we have. We're not yet mature enough as an organized species to have these utilities be anything but a blend of really bad and really good for all of us.
Right.
That reminds me of when you said the comedy of the fallacies, followed by everything that you said after that. Reminds me of the story of the jester, right? And I think you said it to me, if I'm not mistaken.
How important it was to the king.
The power of a court jester, right? He's the only one who's bringing the king bad news without consequences. He's second in charge, right? When you look at the overall thing that he does, right? But the world looks at the jester as a joke, you know? In their eyes, he has no power.
Yeah.
In the king's eyes, though, he has ultimate power.
Yeah. And so the jester today is the media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Today's jester is the media.
Who can deliver bad news to the king, quote unquote,
Yeah.
with no consequences.
But that's not true either, and neither could the jester in any kingdom. The jester was just as capable of being beheaded as everyone else.
True.
They often,
He had a better option. He had a better
view of the parade.
Yeah, he had a better perception.
Better chance of surviving.
Yeah, he had a better chance. We'll go with that chance. He had a better chance.
Because he was entertaining.
Sir, sire, your man got killed today.
Right.
And then be like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna argue that the only thing that motherfucker got more than anyone else is like the opportunity to laugh.
Yes.
But he might actually have been crying during all those jokes. So who knows,
absolutely,
right?
yeah, because you see a lot of comedians talk about that current day that comedians are some of the most depressed people. They go through the worst stuff, and they use their pain to make everyone else laugh.
I mean, but that's like singers and rappers and rock stars.
Yeah, but not more so than a comedian. A lot of comedians use their life situations to make other people laugh.
I don't know, not more, because comedians also, like Dave Chappelle's a perfect example of what you're saying.
Right.
But you got a million other comics that, I mean, I guess they all use their personal experience, but it doesn't resonate on the same level. They all don't resonate on the same.
They don't, but I think that with comedians, they use more of their real life experience than rappers. Rappers lie.
Depending on the rapper.
75% of rap
Depending on
music
the
is a lie.
Depending on who the rapper is.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's a lie because after a while you're gonna run out of stuff in your real life to rap about.
Right.
That's entertaining, right? That's
yes,
entertaining.
Yes. Yes.
Whereas a comedian, he or she is gonna be able to spin something personal that
But a
happened to them
comedian,
in a bad way and make
and a
it funny.
rapper don't perform as often as they don't perform the same amount of time.
Oh, I agree. I mean, but
Like a comedian might perform tonight
Mhm.
and be jaw dropping, take 8 months off, lives life for 8 months, and then come back on the 12th month and write some more about
no, comedians perform. When they get
when
booked,
they go on tour.
when they no,
perform.
even without that, they get booked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 shows per day.
Okay.
When Earthquake come here, when DL Hughley come here, whoever comes
How
here,
often does he come?
I mean, I'm saying
He takes off two years before he come back.
no, but yeah, here, but
Here,
he's not.
he's going
He's
everywhere
going
else,
everywhere
too.
else within those 2 years. So he's
Okay.
hitting a 50 city tour,
A
60
lot,
city
a lot
tour.
of, a lot of jobs like being a comedian are very much like and on the road.
Yes.
Like you might as well be a door-to-door salesman,
Yep.
Okay.
except
Yep.
you're not going to individual doors. You're
Right.
going to one
door.
comedy shop,
That's right, and they're coming to you.
and they're coming to you.
Mhm.
But you still got to show up every day,
Every day and be fun.
or at least 3 to 4 nights a week, 2 to 3 sessions
So if
each
you
of
do
those nights.
So,
That's right.
so a comedian does 3 days, 2 shows a day. How much of that material is different?
None. It's all the same.
So that's what I'm saying. They might run during that schedule. They might run a couple months, maybe 6, 7, 8 months.
Okay. Right.
In that 9 to 12 or 9 to 1 all over again, they take time to live.
Okay. I
And
see
then they
what you're
wait
saying.
some new material.
Right.
And then they
Like
do it
sometimes.
again.
I think
But like-
we're all supposing a whole lot about all of those dynamic lives, and
I mean,
every one of those
only-
people is like so
only
different. They-
only artist that I can think of that tours maybe as much or more than a comedian would be Tech Nine.
Yeah, but I mean, when rappers go on tour, they're not delivering new music. They're doing the same show. Like he go to Topeka, Kansas. It's the same show that he gonna do in Detroit, Michigan.
True.
The same music.
True.
The same people that's gonna come out.
But he
on
still
there.
put out different albums though.
And just for the record, Taylor Swift's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Taylor Swift,
She's doing the same
Beyonce.
show everywhere she
Exactly.
goes.
Okay.
And she
Beyonce
is
is doing
doing
the same
one
show.
specific song for
Right.
each
For each
of the
city.
locations
Yes.
or whatever. But like, you know,
She's
a lot of effort and time
Gotcha.
Yeah.
into that
Gotcha.
set list. Into
Okay.
that set list.
They perform their whole show, like you said, around that set playlist.
Okay.
These 10 songs is what we're gonna do for every
Okay.
city.
Okay.
Now we might change the color of our outfits. The dancers might wear a different color.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But it's the same
It's the
show.
same show.
The same way the comedian when he
Like
do those
Usher.
6 shows in the
Like when
weekend.
Usher was doing the
Yeah,
the
but he
residency.
got a residency,
And-
but
right?
he was doing the same show
Yes,
every night.
yes.
It just had a different
Look,
celebrity.
man,
that he
when
would
we
entice.
get you
Exactly.
there,
Okay.
when we get you there, you're gonna have a stage manager who's gonna worry about all that shit.
Exactly.
That's what you're for.
Exactly.
That's what you're for.
It's-
But
That's what you're for.
He did like
this just in the bigger picture of what we're talking about.
Okay.
Think about what a stage manager is. In the bigger picture of what we're talking
That's a
about.
director.
No. I'm saying this man is gonna tell you how to live your life. He's gonna tell you how to live your life for this
Okay.
next 45 minutes to 2 hours or whatever. He's gonna be Geppetto,
Okay.
and you're gonna be the puppet.
Gotcha. I understand.
And you depend on him to do that. You pay him to do that. You see what I'm saying? So what if he get it wrong? Then I mean you got it wrong. Then I mean you just delivered the what's
terrible
called
show.
a theory. You just delivered
The near
near
miss.
miss theory to the
Ah.
audience because you depended on someone else to deliver your message for you, to create your message for you. Rather, excuse me.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So you
Okay.
see how once again
You tied it
the
back
bigger
around.
picture and it
Yeah.
all ties back
You
around
brought
to
it back
that.
around. Yeah.
Amazing, ain't it? That's great. I told everybody this was gonna be a great podcast tonight, without even knowing when. This is what we talk about, y'all. The near miss theory. The near miss theory, y'all. And you know, I always tie it back around. I
You do.
always
You always
find
do
a
that.
way to tie it back around because all things correlate.
so the near miss factor is increasing.
Mhm.
We want more readily to be a party to the mayhem
Wow.
ourselves.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
and I don't, we haven't talked about porn at all,
No,
but like,
we can.
Corn.
no, porn.
Corn.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
corn.
we gotta say
Oh,
corn.
You,
Yeah,
you actually
you
have
gotta
to say
corn.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you
well,
gotta say corn.
corn is
Uh-huh.
becoming so common
Right, right.
that everyone and their sister is involved in making it,
Absolutely.
right?
That is so funny.
And we
because
haven't even begun to grapple with what that means, right? An entire generation of young peoples who are monetizing their enjoyment,
Right. There you, there
right?
You go,
They're
right.
monetizing their
Uh-huh.
enjoyment, right? I think it's going to change us in ways that we don't understand, and we're we're going to be in a special
Well,
place.
are you familiar with, you know who Bernie Mac is, the comedian? I don't know if you
Yes.
remember him
Yeah.
before he passed away.
Yeah.
He had a show called The Bernie Mac Show, right? So he had the two actresses who played his daughters. One was a little girl, she was like 9,
Okay.
and the other one was 14 on the show, like in real life.
Yeah.
But both of them are on OnlyFans. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with both OnlyFans. Yeah, both of them.
I know the
So,
oldest one was. I didn't know the baby was.
The baby is too, which she is gorgeous. But anyway,
Wow.
one of the young girls, she made
I'm sorry.
$952,000 in 1 week on
Yeah,
OnlyFans.
yeah.
So she
Yeah.
sexualized herself because she knew she had a following.
Yeah. So high school English teacher, female in Iowa, got front page of the Des Moines Register for getting her first $3 million in her first 3 months.
Damn!
So like,
wow!
it's a life-changing proposition. If you're going to sexualize yourself, you might as well get fucking paid for it.
Right.
3 million.
Yeah, and
you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, so it is an industry. We are monetizing it. It has been monetized and it's been social mediaized. So it's like
It's okay now.
this is a different. It's going to be an
Yeah,
interesting evolution
right.
into where we go from here. I don't know what it means, but like the fact that we ignore almost wholly that corn
Gotta say, yeah.
is got like a humongous component of our capacity to produce oriented toward it. Because if it's not actually corn, it's trying to be corn.
Right. That's right. Because they know that's what sells.
Right.
Absolutely. And they're gonna push the line as far as they can
Yeah.
without it
We-
crossing over the corn.
We used to have,
Absolutely.
I was a newspaperman. That's when we first met. I was on the base newspaper. I wrote for it, and my old public affairs officer had, and it probably wasn't his joke, but it came along with the trade, and they would say, you know, there are a few things that'll sell a small town newspaper,
Okay.
right? One thing is local names and faces all day. Local names, faces, put them in the paper, you're going to sell, right? If you get all those pictures in there, you're good. The other thing that sells is sex, kids, and animals. Just don't put them all in the same story,
Okay. Okay.
right? But like those things sell. Now, sex was the lead.
Of course.
Sex was the lead.
Always.
It always has been, right? I don't know. I can't change
So
that which we are. So
let me ask you a question. And it's kind of off topic slightly, but you seen Full Metal Jacket, the movie?
I've lived Full Metal Jacket.
Wow.
That would be his life.
So
No,
you
no, I like that.
you like the photographer in that one? I mean, the journalist, which was the Joker, Private Joker?
Joker.
Yeah, Private Joker.
Yeah, so I would say like I have been acutely aware of this expression of my experience from actually not before I joined. Before I joined to be a combat correspondent in the Marine Corps, I didn't know, I had not seen Full Metal Jacket. But when I got through and the whole time I was in recruit training, my drill instructors, probably about halfway through, started calling me Joker, and I couldn't figure out why.
Oh wow!
And
Holy sh!
and then I go to from recruit training, go home for leave, and then you go to your A school, which for me was the Defense Information School.
Mhm.
And I got there and I go to the barracks and I check in, and it's a Friday, and they're like, "Oh, we're all going out, and blah blah blah." And they're like, "What are you going here to be trained?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna be a combat correspondent." They're like, "Oh, you're Joker," like and
Wow.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
like,
pops. That's
and I'm
what
like,
it is.
what's going on, And they go, "You've never seen Full Metal Jacket?" So before we went and hit Baltimore, we had to have a movie viewing in the squad bay at the end of the barracks there, and we watched Full Metal Jacket together. It was the first time I had seen it,
Oh,
and I had
wow.
and I'm like, okay, so now this gets to be my experience.
Right.
Instead of going to Vietnam, I went to the Southern Pacific and
Right.
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
But my experience was that of someone whose role in the exercise is to capture the story
Mm-hmm.
and try and share it back. And
Everything
Wow.
okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Carnitas.
Who can I go?
Buccaneer Bowl. Yeah, Carnitas.
With Mario.
To go. Okay. That's crazy.
What made you bring that up?
Well, because what he was talking about, what his job
job
was
was, right.
in the military, that's what it took me back to.
Mm.
He said,
I mean, I've seen it a bunch of times, right?
Remember, he was going through boot camp, and it was all good until
It wasn't all
Arlie.
good,
Well,
but
no. Listen. Until Arlie Irby, which is the drill instructor, found out what his job was, and then he started calling him Private Joker. Before that, he didn't
Well,
have
that's
no
right,
issues.
because he got mad and said,
Yeah.
"You're gonna go take pictures while everybody else is fighting."
Exactly. It was all good until he found out what his job
But
was.
I'm thinking about the whole movie in
Right.
a nutshell when you say he went to boot camp and it was all good until, and I'm like, it wasn't good in boot camp.
But then when you
because
think
that's how that
about,
motherfucker ended up killing the
But-
drill instructor.
that's true, but also when you think about the back half of the movie,
Yeah,
how important Private Joker ended up being.
he was
Because
very
he actually
important.
was in war.
He
You
was
see
in
what I'm
war.
saying?
Yeah.
And you see him click, click, click.
You also see him bow, bow,
No,
bow.
you see him doing that too,
Yeah.
because that's what he was trained to do.
Right.
But at the same
That's what
time,
we are
you still
first.
see him right. You still see him doing that. So here it is. I'm sitting across from someone who actually did that. So that's why I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
how actual is it from that movie? You see what I'm saying? So for him to say, "Well,
He
look,
loved
I
that
went
camera.
through
He
basic.
been attached to that joint for
I
a
went
long
through
time.
basic
Yeah, I don't-
before I seen the movie, though."
I don't go anywhere really without
Yeah.
a camera with me.
I have to show you some pictures.
It's crazy that he went through basic
my-
before he seen that movie.
Yeah.
Before he
I didn't-
seen that movie, he went through basic training.
Yeah.
That is
I-
phenomenal to me.
I promise. I don't remember if I seen Full Metal Jacket before or after I got out of the Marine Corps.
I seen it as a kid.
I mean, I'm not sure when I see it. I'm just
Like,
I know I've
probably
seen
in
it
high
a bunch
school.
of times.
So
But I'm saying
Wow.
because I went to boot camp twice. Remember I told you
Oh
that?
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So-
yeah.
I remember going through the first time, some of the shit the drill instructors did, it bothered me, it affected me. Right? But the second time I went through, they were like, "You're a quitter. You're just gonna quit again." I'm like, "Fuck you." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm making out this bitch. What? You
Right.
gonna call me Lance Corporal or Corporal Woods or whatever.
Yeah.
And it happened. You know, so I made it through. No fucking shoulder injuries, no back spasms. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All the humping we did at the other base when we go to our school right before. Did you go straight to MCT?
I went home for 10 days.
And then you went to MCT. But when you went, yours started.
Yeah, most immediately.
Okay. So when I went,
You got in a holding pen?
I got put in like, so MCT is our basic military training combat.
Yeah, we go to A school. Yeah,
So-
afterwards. Uh-huh.
When I got there, my school didn't start for like 3 or 4 months. So they made me do security. We had like jobs. We had like a little squad bay we lived in, and like certain days we were off, we'd all go to the same strip club or we go get tattoos. And that's what we were doing.
Right.
So fucking I was watching the armory. I had a loaded weapon with real ammo, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, because I gave me the night shift, so I was there from like 11 to 7. At 2 o'clock in the morning, you start hearing shit. There's no people moving around other than you and whoever is surveying the other different areas. You start hearing voices. You start hearing all kinds of shit, and you be like, I know I'm not crazy. Hold on, what was that? Now I got my rifle in my hand. I'm looking around, and you still hear this shit. It's not. And then when 4:15 come, like clockwork, all the shit stops. All the shit stops. Because the Marines, they get back on the base at 1. They can't stay out past 1.
Right.
2 o'clock, you start hearing shit moving around, voices, sound, all that by the Army. The Army's in the middle of the base. There's barracks this way. There's like chow hall over here. There's some other shit over, but you start hearing shit. And it's like it happens clockwork, like every day. And then when they come pick you up at 7 or 6:50 something, you gonna let down the flag, or we put up the flag. I forget which one. We put up, it's red light. So we put up the flag, and then they tell you to go have a nap or something. Go take a nap. Go sleep, because you got another duty coming up. But so that's how I spent 3 months, 3 or 4 months. Everybody else that I met, they got out of boot camp, they went to MCT, school started.
Right.
I've been in this bitch for 3-4 months going crazy. Now all of a sudden my school started. I'm me. I'm the same me that he met. I don't want to take orders from people. I didn't want to be the guy, but I didn't want you telling me what to do.
Right.
So we in our school. I got cool with this young lady that chose to stay in North Carolina because that's where she was from. I went back to California. Love missed itself. But when we were in school, it was cool. But like our deck was payroll. The people, the new class coming in was something else in pay. And then above us was the truck driver school. But they were all on the same base. It was just crazy, man. It's crazy shit. Like,
Wow. Man, y'all, we covered a lot of stuff tonight. This conversation was.
your dad said he could tell me some stuff about that.
Oh yeah, hey, listen, Pops, because he was in the Coast Guard for a very long time. He got a lot of stories. My dad was in the Coast Guard for a very long time.
That shit crazy.
He told me a lot of stories about being on those Coast Guard cutters, you know what I'm saying, those different little speed boats and all this other stuff that, icebreakers and all this other stuff. And yeah, he can tell you a lot about a lot of that kind of stuff. This was a great conversation, y'all. I hope y'all stayed to the end. I hope y'all really took in a lot of the stuff that we were saying tonight. You got a different perspective from 3 different people, 3 different military men, and it provided a lot of insight to some stuff. Maybe some stuff you never even heard before. But we hope that you took away something from this conversation tonight. And if you have any questions, please drop it in the comment section or inbox us. If you have any information from Marine Corey, he's on TikTok,
Instagram.
On occasion. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere and nowhere all at the same time.
Please check him out. Check him out.
That's the way I like it.
You know who I am. You know who this is. But if you guys have any questions, comments, or anything about what we were talking about tonight, let us know.
We out of
really
time.
like to hear it.
We out of time. Till the next time.
Screaming, let's talk. Peace.
Guys, enjoyed the show very much tonight. Good night. Thank you very much, Pops.
Hey, Pops, appreciate you. Love you. Holla at you later on.
Oracle, appreciate your insight.
Appreciate the Oracle for tuning in tonight as well. Thank you for your insight.
Socially
Thank you.
adept, thank you.
Socially adept, same as well.
Morg, Annie.
Oh yeah, Morg, moderator. You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
know if Annie showed up
Annie
tonight.
is the moderator. If you didn't show up tonight, thank you, Annie, for coming through. We know
If you watch the
you'll be
replay,
here.
Annie, please tag that name of that title for me.
Absolutely.
And text it to me because
There's a couple times, but we said tag that. So Annie, that was for you,
yeah.
or
Please-
more.
Please send me that so we can have that discussion tomorrow.
Absolutely, because y'all know that we on Wednesdays is our regular day,
He
but
was in
we had a
town.
special guest
Yeah.
in town, so we went on today. And we still going on tomorrow.
And you might see me at that.
Hey, if he's still here, you will definitely see him tomorrow as well. I told y'all from the beginning this was going to be a great podcast, and I held true to that. This was a really, really good podcast.
It was dope.
Really, really good podcast.
You didn't get a
Whenever-
chance to tell them about the all white party.
Well, I gave a shout out.
You gave a
You know what
shout
I'm
out.
saying? I did.
Okay.
I gave a
Okay.
shout out.
All right.
And maybe tomorrow though, I'll tell y'all some more because I've been putting up videos and pictures and stuff of him and his all white, me and my all white, not dress whites, not dress whites. That's different. That's different. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta be a special
Especially
person
being in
for
the
that.
Navy. Especially being in the Navy, we had dress whites. You know what I'm saying?
Our captains got our officers got dress white.
Oh, okay. Officers had dress whites.
Yeah, we don't have dress white. We got navy blue.
Yeah, we had dress whites. You know
dress
what I'm saying?
blue.
So
Yeah, dress
but-
blue, right?
y'all seen us. The pictures I put up was in our all whites yesterday. We had a really good time. And it was a phenomenal event. We got a chance to network with a lot of people, meet a lot of people,
We did.
take a lot of pictures, media
did.
people, radio people, production people. It was a phenomenal. Atlanta showed us a great time yesterday.
Last don't
was it
know what's
yesterday?
nothing.
No,
2
Sunday.
days ago.
Sunday. So
2 days
Sunday,
ago,
yeah.
yeah.
2 days ago. Atlanta showed us a phenomenal time. We
Atlanta does
appreciate
not owe
that.
us anything.
And big shout out to Souchet Pierre, which is a Haitian artist, reggaeton, Afro beats, dance hall music. So big shout out to that. And with that being said, I'm your boy Said.
I'm your host, Just This.
That's Marie and Corey. We out of time. Till the next time.
Let's talk. Peace.